Hey guys, obviously a tough loss for back to back. How do you guys will yourselves back into the win column?
Um, Coach talked about in the locker room of us being tested right now, whatever that is. We've gone through adversity on this road trip, and it's up to us to figure out how we're gonna come together. There's been a lot of things have not gone our way on this road trip, and to be honest, throughout our season. But I think at the end of the day, we're gonna figure it out. Great teams go through adversity, so we just have to go back, watch the film, see areas that we can get better, and continue to grow and figure it out.
And this was also somewhat of a physical game, in my opinion. How do you guys maintain and kind of keep your composure as far as when the things you can control and the things that you can't control?
I mean, for us, every game's been physical and, nothing has changed. We talk about it, we try to play through it, but it's hard when only one team is allowed to play that way. I think we're doing as best we can to keep our composure. We're doing as best we can to continue to play through it, but, at some point something has to give. So, like Jason, coach said, we're being tested, as we have been all season. It's not just these last four games, but, you know, we just have to figure out what we can continue to do to, make sure that things still go our way, even though, it seems that people don't want it to.
And to touch on that, I'm gonna get fined, so I don't really care. But I think tonight the officiating was awful, horrible. I think in the crucial point of the game, when they started to make a run, I think the officiating kind of helped them out, to be honest. I think in the beginning of the game, when I got my second foul call, which wasn't a foul, Ashley came to me and said, "You know what? I was wrong. It's not a foul." Well, that doesn't help me because now I have two fouls. The same call that I got called for, maybe it was in the third or fourth quarter when I ran over Shakira, when I clearly touched the ball first to get to it, but it was foul on me. A few possessions later, Flores did the same thing to me as I dove on the floor, and it wasn't a foul call on her. I don't know how many times Angel has to get beat up in the paint for her to get a foul call. It was blatant tonight. Every time she had a fast break layup, she was getting hacked in the paint. She was getting hacked, no foul calls. But the other way, like Rice said, we can't play physical. Anytime we tried to play physical, it was always a foul call. So I think the officiating has to be better. For some reason, again, I don't know what Angel has to do. I don't know what we have to do to get a foul call, but I thought tonight was horrible. I thought all three refs were terrible.
And with that being said, with the adversity that you all are facing, for young people that are paying attention right now that see how frustrated you all are, what are some words or some tips that you could share to stay one in a positive mindset, especially looking forward to the next game? And then when you're in the game, how do you remain disciplined to stay locked in?
I mean, we have to try and figure it out. I mean, in the games, it could be frustrating, but as pros, we have to find a way to be poised and keep our composure. I mean,
I mean, if
again,
we react, is we're gonna be the
yeah.
bad guys. So, especially our team, looking at us, if we were to react in the ways that people are gonna portray, we're gonna be the bad guys. And it's tough because we continue to go to rest, we continue to tell them, hey, we're getting those same contacts, we're getting that same call that you're not giving it, and they're like, oh, we're gonna get it right. Or, now we have to waste a challenge on somebody jumping on my point guard's back because you don't want to make the right call. And then you're yelling at us like, oh, we're going to get it right. We're going to get it right. Get it right the first time so we don't have to go through this. So we know how to play. So we don't have to continue to change our whole game plan. We have mismatches everywhere. We're not allowed to go to them because we're all getting beat up. There's no cause. We go down. At one point, we were the best defensive team in the league. And now I don't know where we are because we have to switch up how we play.
We'll go to Wilson. Go ahead, Wilton.
Ladies, this actually might kind of go. My question may kind of go to that four straight losses, but like, what would you say is a common issue that you've kind of felt during this streak, within this losing streak, with you guys as a team?
'Cause. I mean, aside from the, clear and obvious answer. We do have to hit shots. We got almost double of their possessions, double of the shot attempts that they had. We just have to figure out how to put them in the basket. I think, yes, we are battling some woes, but I think, again, we're still trying to figure out how to play through them. We're still trying to figure out how to, continue to play the way we want to. So I think just, getting the looks, the easy looks that we're creating and knocking them down. We got to be better from the free throw line. We got a ton of threes, a ton of shots, just being able to knock down the easy ones so that we can continue to have those positive things to look forward to.
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
JC, take me through defensive while you mentioned that this takes y'all out of y'all rhythm. Still one of the best, a bunch of steals tonight. What is it that you have to fight through to keep that defensive pressure, even through the frustration that y'all may feel in a game like tonight?
I mean, to be honest, like we just have to find ways, even when, things aren't going our way, how to pull through with the win. And again, the stretch has been tough, but like I said before, every great team goes through adversity. And at some point, we got to figure out how we're going to fix it. So at one point, it's going to come down. It's going to come down to us and the will and the mentality to get better on the defensive end. And yeah, I think that's it. Like you said, besides the frustrations of not getting calls or not being able to play that we want to play, we still have to figure it out regardless. And I'm not trying to make an excuse for the officiating. Obviously, there are things that we as a team have to improve on, but I'm just saying things have to be a little bit fair when we are playing. But yeah, I think it's just finding ways to get these wins even when we're battling through adversity or we're not shooting well or things are not being called our way. We still have to find ways to win the game.
I'll take a couple more. We'll go to Michael and then we'll go to Doug.
Hey Ryan, we know that Nas always has messaging for the team after wins, after losses. We saw after the game tonight, everybody was in front of the bench, and Nas had a message for everybody. What did she have to say?
I mean, just reiterating the fact that we have to, be better. We can't use, the reffing as an excuse. We can't use the road trip as an excuse. Like, everybody's tired. We have to be better. I'm not gonna say specifically what she said, but just along those lines of, trying to stay positive and, we have another tough one coming up. The people who started this whooping that we're getting, we're about to see them again. And, either we're going to turn the page and get back to where we want to get to, or we're going to continue to endure it. So
Go ahead, Doug.
Because y'all talked about a few calls tonight, the 5-second call at the end of the game, what was that the correct call? The
No.
timeout, or was it a 5-second violation?
Oh, yeah. Again, I can get fined. I don't care. So Ashley called the 5-second call. And then as we were trying to get the ball back or call a timeout for ourselves, she turns around and says, "No, he called a timeout." And I said, "How can you call something? You literally called a 5-second call. And how can you change the call to oh, he called a timeout?" You're looking at the ball and you're the one that's counting the time. So you're not even paying attention to the ref. I mean, to the coach. If anything, another ref should come over to you and say, "You know what? He called a timeout," and reverse the call. But you can't yourself be the one looking at somebody calling it and then call 5 seconds and then tell me that you can change the call. And that was a pivotal moment because obviously we were
we're
down.
down two.
We were down two, so we would have got the ball back. But stuff like that is what's frustrating because we did our job
You don't
and they
change
need to do their
calls
job.
when any other time.
But again, I can get fined. I don't care. I'm just saying the refs need to be better. We obviously need to be better. I'm not saying this is an excuse for our loss, but when you have things like this that happen and a momentum shift, it could be very frustrating. So that's